Are you a new player to Warframe? Are you really confused as to what even is Plains of Eidolon? How do I even get there? And what weapons, what Warframes do I use to survive the Plains of Eidolon? If you've got these questions or if you want answers, then hopefully this video will be the perfect guide for you. So let's get cracking, shall we? Welcome to the Plains of Eidolon. So you're probably watching this video because you're a new player of Warframe, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I've heard of the Plains of Eidolon, I've heard about it's a new expansion to the game, it's a new kind of open world, so what do I do? How do I survive? What weapon should I take? And this video is here to help you, it's here to give you a guide of what weapons I think are really good, as to also give you a beginner's guide as to how to play the Plains, and most importantly, how to survive and progress and rank up and have fun. So the Plains, as you will see, you will have to firstly complete the very first mission, which is Vor's Prize, I believe. So when you've completed Vor's Prize, which is pretty much the first main mission in the game, you will then get access to Cetus, and you will then get access to the Plains of Eidolon. It's not mastery locked in any way, so you can have access to this new expansion from the very start. The only thing you have to do is complete Vor's Prize. Once you've completed that, you can then transport directly to Cetus. Cetus is the main kind of hub, it's the main safe zone. This is where you come for all of your bounties, all of your materials to exchange for further reputation. This is where you can build your melee weapons and you can get cosmetics. Pretty much this is the main hub of where you're going to go in the Plains of Eidolon. So Konzu is the main guy that you want to speak to. He's the guy who deals with all of the bounties. And this is also where you enter the actual Plains. So what weapons do you take in? My first recommendation, if you're looking for a very good melee weapon, is probably the Galatine or the Galatine Prime. You can get the standard Galatine at Master Rank 3, and you can get the Prime version at Master Rank 13. Now obviously I'm going to say go for the Prime version because they have slightly better stats than the normal variant, and obviously they look kind of better. If you're looking for a build, I do have a build on my YouTube channel. Make sure you go and check that out. I do predominantly go with a slash status build, and it's probably at the moment one of the strongest melee weapons in the game. So if you're rocking that, you'll be fine. The next weapon that I'm going to recommend is actually a recent one, and it's the Argonak. Now you get this from basically researching it from the Grenier lab in a dojo. So with some of these weapons I do recommend that you join a dojo so that you can get the blueprint for these weapons and then you can farm the parts and build them. But the Argonak is a very, very strong scout slash auto rifle. You can toggle the fire rate of this weapon. But most importantly, it's very, very accurate. The thing that's different with the Plains this time in terms of its play style, in terms of its gunplay, is that you want a very good range weapon. Because the enemy varieties and the different challenges that the Plains throws at you is very, very varied. And you'll also deal with a lot of long kind of engagements. So you'll want either a very good scout rifle, either a very good auto rifle, and the Argonak kind of falls into that category. Very, very accurate. It's very powerful on headshots, and if you are accurate, you'll do fine. Speaking of kind of long-range weapons, the Vectis and the Vectis Prime is another one. This is the sniper rifle. You can get the Vectis from Master Rank 3, or you can get the Prime variant, I believe is also at the same rank. So, you know, if you're going for Mastery, obviously I would say use the standard and then go for the Prime. Prime's obviously, again, going to have better stats. But the Vectis is very, very good. I personally put on Hush so that enemies can't hear me, so you can just snipe them from a long distance. And it's very useful for clearing out encampments and clearing out bases before you actually get there. The next one is actually a recent secondary weapon. It's the Arca Scisco. And this is again a research from the Corpus this time, which is the Energy Lab. And you can only get this by being a Mastery Rank 10, so it is locked. This weapon is very, very good. It has target acquisition. So the more times in which you fire the weapon at an enemy, the more powerful it gets. There's also a lot of ammo in this weapon. So you're not going to be running out, you're not going to be stuck running out of ammo very quickly. It's very, very powerful as well. And it gives status. The next one is again another sniper rifle. It is the Snipetron and Snipetron Vandal. This is an early game weapon that you can get, both variants. Again, it's very, very powerful sniper. Not as good as the Vectis, but I quite like it. I quite like the way in which it sounds. Again, I rock kind of Hush on this, as well as, you know, bladed rounds for, you know, if you're aiming, it'll give you a little bit more damage. But again, It's a long range engagement primary, which I think is essential. You want at least one of these weapons. So the next one is another secondary, and this is a very good weapon. If you're accurate with this, you will absolutely melt most of the enemies in this game, let alone the planes. And it's the Euphona Prime. Now the Euphona is unfortunately mastery rank locked, but once you get it, as you can see, and once you are accurate with it, it decimates a lot of enemies. So you'll have to kind of deviate for bullet drop on this weapon. But once you hit shots, it's very powerful. The only downside I will say to this weapon is that the reload speed is quite slow and it doesn't really hold enough in terms of its ammo. So you've got to be quite careful in terms of, you know, your shots and making sure that you are accurate. But once you are, this is a very powerful sidearm. The next one is, again, another new primary, and this is the Arca Plasmor. This is a research weapon from the Corpus, and it is mastery rank locked at 10. Now, this is a kind of radiation shotgun, in a way. So, yeah, this thing kind of melts. It melts pretty much anything that you throw in front of it. It's got pretty decent amount of ammo. I think it holds around maybe about 7 shots per round, so that's plenty. Yeah, it's pretty beastly. You'll see from a few of these clips that it pretty much melts a lot of things. I'm also using the Arca Prime, which I recommend as well. But yeah, the new shotgun is pretty special. I will be putting up a guide very shortly onto why you should use guide, and hopefully you'll find that quite useful. So yeah, I'm using the Arca Prime there. This is basically just for me, in my opinion, what is a good Plains of Eidolon build. So for me, I'm using the Arca Plasmor, which is the shotgun that I've just mentioned. I'm also using the Arca Prime because they're very accurate, as well as they just melt. And a very good melee is the Legion, or if you're looking for something that's a little bit cheaper, or you know, you can get it at an earlier stage, then I would recommend the Orthos or the Orthos Prime if you can get it. Very good melee. Another one as well, another recommendations that I would use is things like the Atarax, which I've got a guide on my YouTube about. Other melees, I would recommend things such as any polearm, any kind of great sword that you can get. In terms of actual frames that you can use, I would recommend frames such as Valkyr. I would recommend frames such as Volt. Chrome is very good at the moment. I would also recommend, if you can get it, in Aros. May very good at the moment because she's DPS, a lot of DPS at the moment, so you see a lot of people rocking her. But yeah, there's a lot of variety, there's a lot of different frames that you can actually use that is viable. Trinity, I've seen a few Trinities roaming around. So yeah, it's just about really finding what your perfect frame is, what you're comfortable with, and yeah, just basically having fun on the plains. I hope that you found this guide useful. I hope it's been useful for the beginners out there, and as well as maybe some of the veterans that you may be considering using new weapons or new frames. But yeah, that's all for me today, guys. I hope you've found this video useful. If you have, do make sure to give it a like, to subscribe for further Warframe content, and until next time, guys, I will see you soon. Bye bye.